pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Nick pushed down the backstretch, is going to give him a good run through the corners.
A little bit
Follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the TMP Winter Series season finale. Final doubleheader of the year from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And folks, as we bring you on site here at Atlanta, hello and welcome. My name is Joe Twansky, joined up here in the booth by the one and only Mr. Joseph Weaver.
Hello, Joe. Hello, everybody at home. Tuning in here live at Hotlanta.
Live at Hotlanta, and it's a retro Atlanta Motor Speedway, 1997. Atlanta Motor Speedway on the docket here tonight. Weaver, 55 laps in our 2 races. Going to be a fun time. Champion will also be crowned at the end of the night. We'll take you through that format, but first, qualifying has already concluded. Why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
With pleasure, Joe, taking pole in race number 1 tonight. Started out rough last week, but put it on pole. 51 of Roger Nebelsack. He set a time of 31.152. Starting outside row 1 is the 41 of Josh Boyer. Row 2, we have the 19 of Chris Aiken and the 24 of Viper. Row 3 is the 11 of Rich Knappick and the 910 of Jamie Tedder. Row 4 is the 33 of Tom Goodman and the 31 of Rod Weston. Row 5 is the 7 of Tom Musa and the 44 of Dan Rubino. Row 6 is the 67 of Brian Beiswanger and the 85 of Josh 2. Row 7 is the 61 of Dick Jordan and the 1 of Steve Rubino. Row 8 is the 77 of Darrell Johnston and the 49 of Irv Johnston.
Does that round out our field here tonight?
That it does, Joe.
You got to tell me when you're done.
I feel like, that's something you should maybe know, Joe.
Oh, okay. We're going to throw that shade. Who are the championship people tonight, Weaver? Who's going for a championship?
Well, that's also something you should know, Joe.
Oh, no, I know. But you should also know, because you're a broadcaster if we want to throw that around. Right?
Well, I could tell you one of them.
Okay, go ahead.
Starting there in 9th place at 7 of Tom Musa.
Why can you only tell me Tom Musa?
Well, I can tell you more. We can go back and forth. You do one, I do one.
Second in that championship, and they're all even on points, is the 11 of Rich Knappick. Got another one?
Alright, I thought I would have thought one.
Also in our final 6 here in this first race, it's Chris Aiken in the number 19, the 33 of Tom Goodman, the 67 of Brian Beiswinger, and the 85 of Josh 2. We'll go from 6 to 4 as we transition from race 1 to race 2. Highest finisher then in the second race here tonight will be crowned your Winter Series TMP champion. Got the V8s underneath the cars here tonight since we're at the bigger track, Weaver, so another little thing to note for all the folks out there. It might have a little bit of a different sound to it here this evening, but nonetheless going to be some great racing here from Atlanta circa 1997. You see a couple of those championship drivers there. Tom Goodman, leading edge of your screen, this 11 car of Rich Knappick. Knappick looking for that title. There's the 31 of Rod Weston. Good looking car there. He won last time out that we saw him in a broadcast race here as part of this schedule. He usually runs the first race when he is here. Viper in the 24. new entry tonight. Glad to see Viper out on the racetrack. That's a good name, too, by the way. Viper. Viper. You know, it's got good bite to it.
Added we did a little quiz with some friends yesterday about animals fighting each other. 1v1 hypothetical situation. The Viper did okay.
Did it?
Didn't win, but it did okay.
Well, it's still a snake, right? So it's still like tiny compared to like a lot of the other animals. Because like I'm assuming it got like beat by like a bear or like something big, right?
I think so. I think it ended up being like a rhino or something that took it
Oh,
out.
a rhino?
Yeah, I tell you what, the tough one was when it was up against an anaconda. It's a tough question.
Anaconda don't.
That being said, to everybody home, pose this question: who's your money on, anaconda or
Her Viper.
a viper? I guess a viper isn't really very specific. It's more of like a species than anything, but pick your favorite pit viper and we'll go with that.
Bino in chat, and also in chat, gonna root on both Steve and Danny here tonight. I'd like to say, like, Daniel, like, if that's your name is Daniel, right? You can go by Dan, you can go by Danny. Kind of like the predicament that we're in, right? We can go by Joseph, Joe, Joey. I feel like I know more Dannys than I do, like, Dans or Daniels. You know?
See, I'm the opposite. I don't know if I know any Dannies.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that just goes by Danny.
I feel like it's like, because like if you're our age and you're going by Joey, like to the broad public, right? That's not shade towards our good buddy Joey Stefano.
I was gonna say you gotta toe this line here, Joe.
Well, because there's a reason why you get called by your last name and you're also Joseph Weaver. And I'm Joe, and he's Joey, is because we were all like same time when we got into our group of mutual friends and whatnot.
Yeah, and I got stiffed.
You did get stiffed, but that's what happens when you probably have the easiest pronounced last name.
Yeah, y'all got some weird last names. I don't even have like a super normal one, but it's still
it's not as
not
weird.
foreign.
This was not the tone I wanted to start here tonight. Cars lining up here on the grid as we wait the command to get engines fired here for race 1.
Start your engines!
Roger Neville set gonna roll off from the pole here tonight. You mentioned he had a tough start to last week. Could be looking to kind of avenge being eliminated from the championship hunt here in this one. To his outside is Josh Boyer, who's making a sporadic start here tonight. Good to see Josh out on track. Chris Aiken there in the number 19, going to line up in third with Viper to his outside in position number 4. Another one of our championship contenders, Rich Napick, lines up in 5th. With Jamie Tedder to his outside in the 9-10, last week's doubleheader winner. Tom Goodman and Rod Weston make up row number 4, rounding out your top 10 tonight. It's Tom Musa and Dan Rubino. Ryan Baswinger in the 67, the 85 of Josh 2, the 61 of Dick Jordan, the 1 of Steve Rubino, the 77 of Daryl Johnston, and the 49 of Irv Johnston, rounding out your field here tonight. Sit back, relax, folks. We got a doubleheader on tap from hot Atlanta. Nebelsek with control, and we are underway here to kick off our season finale night of racing with our TMP Winter Series friends.
Real good start for that inside line here through turns 1 and 2.
The high banks of this racetrack, too, Weaver, they are They are something. These guys are going to be able to spread out. We saw an instant classic here with our friends at USORL a few years ago now. Expect to see something similar here tonight with all these guys able to kind of maneuver up and down the banking. Draft going to come into play as well. It's going to be a fun time. Lap 1 in the books. Pole sitter Nebelcek leads it.
Yeah, Joe, definitely a track that can lend us some good racing. We're going to see a lot of fall off as well through the run. Car can get real loose on you here. Oh, speaking of getting loose, 31 to Rod Weston up into the outside wall.
He's around here on the front straightaway. No caution. Single car spin. Let's get you a replay. Looks like might have been some contact.
Yeah, definitely some contact with the 7 there. It looks like maybe the 31 of Rod Weston came down a little bit too much off that corner.
The gap closed. Real estate was sold. And Weston goes around. Nebelcek still out in front. You see it's single file freight train.
Part of the made contact, the 7 of Tom Musa. He's up in top. He's in 8th position right now, running for that championship.
Caution's out. Car slow on the front straightaway. It's the 61 of Jordan. God, he was losing it. Oh, there's some smoke up ahead of him. Don't know if... Oof. Big hit there. Who was that? It was 49. We're on board with Irv. Oh, just trying to shoot a gap that closed up there, Weaver. Majority of cars down on the apron here. Nebelcek looks to be staying out, so does Goodman. But we work our first caution of the night here on lap 5. Expect a lot of 4-tire stops here on pit lane early on. We all know tire wear, and it's how heavy it can be at a track like Atlanta. So Weaver, we work this first caution. The nerves can maybe start to settle down. How do you get yourself back zoned in here for the restart coming to lap 8?
I think you just got to be ready for this restart. We saw how big of a jump that inside line was able to get on the initial start of the race. So being prepared for this restart, you can probably make up some spots here if you're in the right lane.
do you pick that right lane when it's single file?
You just gotta know when to move, which lane to go into, Joe. I'll tell you what, they might start single file here, but if they're single file going through 1 and 2, I'll eat my shirt.
You'll eat your shirt if they're single file 1 through 2. All right, I'm holding you to that green flag. We're back underway. Let's go spectator cams. That way we can see completely. It's like we're all single file, Weaver.
Got some time. They're gonna do it for me. I believe.
We're still single file, Weaver.
I saw a little too wide right there.
No.
We were right there coming off turn 2, saw it.
You were so close. No, it's close, folks. You were very confident, and then you got a little scared there about 3/4 through that corner, didn't you?
I knew the whole
Oh,
way.
yeah, okay.
The whole way. No cotton was going in this mouth.
A lot of wide shots here tonight. See Aiken and Boyer side by side down the back straightaway. Chris will take that spot away. Just try to be the leader of the championship cars here in this first race. That doesn't pay anything, so again, you're trying to just not be in the bottom 2.
Always still want to go out here, do as best you can, even if it's not, putting yourself at risk. You just got to be able to know when to make the move and make the right move. A lot can go wrong in a situation like this.
Especially if you start blinking like this 19 car is. See Viper playing it a little safe. Tedder as well in the 910. Well, you're still side by side with that 19 car. And he'll prevail off of turn number 2. It's easy to get turned around at this track with it being symmetrical.
And just how much these cars are spreading out through the corners using every lane possible as we go 3 wide for 5th.
Boyer's gotten through to 2nd. Tedder up the track. The 19 just disappeared again. Oh boy. See the 2 Rubinos making a little bit of contact there. Danny on the bottom. Steve 2's outside.
Aiken really struggling with the internet. Gotta assume that's what's causing this slip to the back of the field for him right now. And Rubino side by side on the inside trying to complete that pass. Steve Rubino right behind. Like that 19 starting to stable out. Back at the front, 51, Roger Nebelsex losing some positions. Tom Goodman started, went to the inside, and Viper has followed now. Tedder trying to get by on the inside of that 51.
Remember, Nebelseck and Goodman had stayed out under that first caution. Everyone else came down pit lane, took 4 tires, so now you're kind of seeing that how the tire wear is playing a role in these cars losing positions. Early cautions can be so fickle. You don't quite know what the rest of the field has, because not everyone runs a decent chunk in practice and happy hour, and it's hard to kind of get a gauge of where guys are, because everyone's going on and off the racetrack. Now that you're in the race, you start to take note, Weaver, from behind the wheel. You gotta start taking note of those guys that, hey, yeah, maybe this guy's a little quick on the short run, but man, I pass him 10 laps in because he blows his tires off the car. Side by side for 3rd.
Yeah, that's going to be something that's going to be easy to do here tonight. See these tires fall off quick. Don't expect to see too many people staying out if we have any future yellows.
The strategy worked for a few laps, though. Single file restarts help that. So it'll be another thing to watch. If we do get a late race yellow, who elects to stay out and who elects to come down and take tires? Because if you go back green with a lap or so, you might end up getting yourself in a net positive, depending on how far back in the field you were when you stayed out.
Yeah, I think it also depends just how many laps you had ran on those tires before. I believe we were only about 5 or 6 laps on that first run, so these guys still had some decent tires, but you could tell just how much that 5 or 6 laps has affected them.
Well, you can tell
now.
those cars are getting tighter too, right? They're not as much speed that they're carrying into the corners, not able to get on the throttle. You see the 33 drifting up the track big time when he's trying to get the gas back down on the floor. Top 3 starting to condense here. Viper stuck in the middle of our leader, Josh Boyer, and last week's doubleheader winner, Jamie Tedder.
Strong second pack forming behind our top 3 right now. We've pulled a good sized gap back to 4th. You can now back up into the 4th spot, running a second behind our leader.
Tedder looking to the inside for second. And he will complete the pass. And Rubino's made his way up into the 5th spot, so he's up inside the top 5 now. Update on the championship drivers. Right now, the 67 and 85 would be your 2 eliminated. Josh 2 here in the 85, that Josh's Eggs car, and the Skull car of Brian B. Roger Nebelsack coming down pit lane here, lap 21. And Weaver, this is what could pay dividends. It could also be a costly mistake to not pit there on that first run, because means Roger's gone about 20 laps. If he's not short pitting here, he's going to have to make another pit stop.
I definitely wanted to keep it out a little longer, but maybe his hope is that nobody can make it on just one stop from here, so like you said, a short pit would help with the tire wear if he was falling off too much.
How do you play that? If it's you in that 51 car, how do you play that? Maybe I don't want to say he made a mistake staying out, but say he did. How do you kind of try to alleviate that mistake or reduce the impact that it has on your race?
I mean, you really just gotta play cars that you got at that point, Joe. Not much you could do different, but hope that everybody else is gonna still have to make the same amount of pit stops before the end of the race as you. Like where that 19 of Aiken was falling back earlier, he was able to save a little tires. He caught up to 3rd place Viper. They're starting to lose the leaders a little bit here, but overall that 19's still closer than he was before.
This top 4 is pulled away from the rest of the pack, though. You see Dan Rubino kind of leading another freight train of 3 with Steve and Rich Napick. Aiken now going to the inside of Viper. Didn't have enough of a run. Ducks back in line.
And they hold a considerable lead over 4th place. Over a second between Aiken and 4th.
Rod Weston now down on pit lane, the 31. So Weaver, maybe these guys have to make 2 pit stops here. Here comes Josh Boyer. He's coming to pit lane. So yeah, they'll all need to make another stop. What about 18 laps? And last I checked, 25 plus 18 is not 55.
Yeah, definitely going to be 2 stops if you're pitting at this point, but that last stop still can be shorter.
Here come the rest of the leaders down pit lane. So let's pick up Roger Nebelsack now in this 51. We're going to watch him and see where he cycles through compared to the leaders. Again, pit about, I don't know, Weaver, you pit about 10 laps ago?
Josh Boyer now on the apron, going through turns 1 and 2, looking to put up the speed here.
Roger comes out in relation to that 41. Boyer clear by quite a bit.
The rest of our top 3, they're getting doors blown off by Josh Boyer. You see what a difference 1 lap can make.
Wow.
That's bought him quite a big lead. Look, 51's going to come out here with those that were running in 2 through 4.
And the other thing to remember, too, Boyer pit by himself, so didn't have the advantage of kind of running an extra lap or 2 in the draft. So the 41 team executes so well on the pit stop. Now Josh Boyer's got a decent lead. Now, these guys will be able to catch him, Weaver, right? Because they've got the draft. They'll be able to run a little bit quicker down the straightaways, but...
Yeah, definitely be able to catch him a little bit, Joe. Probably by the end of the run, maybe they'll catch up to him, but... just have to see what the closing rate here is.
Oh, Chris Aiken in the wall! Heavy lick there for the 19. We stay green. You saw it live. Let's see it again. Looks like Nebelsack just drifts up into him. Maybe a little bit of internet there, too. But that derails the 19's night.
A lot of racing going on in this first pack here. It's letting our leader Josh Boyer still hold on to that lead, not able to close in too much. Lap car 49 of Irv Johnston as well in this pack.
They're in front of Goodman, clips the apron a little bit, gets loose, keeps that car down there. Leader's going to try to pass somehow. Look at to his inside. Now we're nice and calm. We're single file. We're just kind of riding these laps out here. Right now it'd be the 67 and 85. They're 15th and 16th. They would be the 2 drivers eliminated from championship contention after this race if it were to end right now. But it's Josh Boyer out in front of the field. Over halfway done here from Atlanta.
Still expecting 1 pit stop from everybody. Josh Boyer out to a 3-second lead. Last time by was the only time we really saw a considerable chunk taken out of that lead by the 24 Viper. Good recovery for the 31 of Rod West, and he's in 4th now. Had a couple hiccups early in the race.
Hiccups? You ever get the hiccups?
It's been a while, thankfully, but they hurt when I get them.
They hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen a doctor about that? I don't think they're supposed to hurt.
Well, I mean, that's the problem. The doctor did it.
The doctor did it to you?
Yeah. It's a whole thing, Joe. We ain't got enough time for that.
Okay. Hey, fair enough.
You know, sometimes I gotta break something to fix something else, you know? It's just how it goes.
It's not how it's supposed to go, though.
That's just how the body works, Joe.
That's just how she blows.
Mm-hmm.
Tedder trying to go by Weston. You're seeing these cars that pit early now. Their tires they've kind of gone over. They've jumped the shark, right? They starting to lose a little bit of speed here now.
Yeah, definitely, Joe. And I think in general, just seeing these cars become a little more ill-handling at this point in the run. Not seeing as much gains from that 24 of Viper as well with these cars going side by side. He was able to kind of pull away from this pack. 33 of Goodman leading the line there.
Tedder all over the back bumper of that 33 car.
You know what, Joe? If you're feeling gutsy, the window's open. You can make it from here on fuel, on tires. See if we see any alternating strategies. Anybody want to come in short pit, try and get a gap, pull the undercut?
Oh, the undercut. It's a little risque, isn't it?
It's a little bit. I think it's a little too soon for it just yet.
See the 33 drifting up the track there that allows the 910 to get to his inside and make the pass.
Nine ten to Jamie Tedder said it was time to go. Got past that 33 and took off.
He said, okay, I'm gone.
Trying to run down that 24 of Viper.
Viper's been trying to run down Josh Boyer, but has had no luck.
And not a lot of help. Has just been losing a little bit of time or staying the same lap by lap. Swanger, our first to come down and make his final pit stop of the evening.
And he's taking a big swing at it because he needs to get out of one of those bottom two spots in the championship.
Can't get eliminated in race one. Got to be there if you want a chance to win it.
And everybody, and I mean everybody, wants to try to win it.
Here comes our leader, Josh Boyer, down on the apron, coming down pit road.
And this should put Boyer in position to make it to the end of this race. We saw him execute very well in that first pit cycle. See his other cars staying out an extra lap again. Something to watch here. Nebelsek's already on pit lane.
I don't think I would do that, Joe. I want to cover off, you know.
He already had a big lead. Don't let him make it even bigger.
Yeah, got to cover the leader. I'm coming in with him every time. Man.
They're gonna stay on another lap.
Like they're gonna be running it dry. Maybe looking at a shorter stop here at the end.
Shorter stop, 2 tires.
Could be.
Realistically, how much time does that save you on pit lane?
It could save you a few seconds on your stop, and a few seconds on your stop is quite a few on track.
So they're gonna go by Boyer here. He'll maybe be able to pick up their draft.
Be able to, especially with the fresh tires here. And this is going to be tough because those drivers, they're going to see what time they're losing on track if this 41 starts catching them.
So Death Craver 10 to go, folks. You can check out Death Craver. It's now available on Amazon by Zach Rogers. Death Craver chronicles the story of Enzo, a young racer who's invited to a secret underground racing competition to compete on never-before-seen courses and tracks. Little does he know he's going to have to go against Death Craver and his squadron of deranged drivers with their assault vehicles. You have to read the book now, out on Amazon. It's Death Craver here on your Death Craver 10 to go, or you can head to ZachRogersBooks.com.
Amy Tedder still putting some pressure on that 24 Viper. He's going to go to the inside here.
They're both going to pit.
Coming down pit road here. Josh Boyer's going to go by him there. He was a lap down.
So let's watch Josh. See where he cycles out in relation to those two.
Keep an eye on these two. See if we see any differing pit strategy here. Oh, Viper very hot getting on pit road. Definitely think that's going to be a penalty for the 24.
That's not good. Boyer halfway down the back straightaway now.
Those two just hit their box, putting on right side tires. Down and away. 2 tires was the call. That's why they stayed out that little bit extra.
Boyer's still going to blow right by him. Could Boyer have taken 2 tires? I think we need to check the footage.
I think he might have, Joe. Viper still on track. Must have been able to avoid a speeding penalty on pit road. Very surprising.
So they sit about 5.5, almost 6 seconds back of Josh Boyer. Rod Weston in 4th. Josh 2 coming back down pit lane in the 85. His championship aspirations appear to be over. And with Brian Bieswinger in the 67.
Ryan took a shot with the short pit on that last stop, but just not enough to get him back up into a transfer.
2 laps to go.
Boyer can just about coast it from here, but the 24 Viper running in second, he definitely can't. Jamie Tedder almost pushed him down the back straightaway there.
Well, for Josh Boyer, it was execution on pit road that has propelled him to a large lead. This comes through turns 3 and 4. He's got the 61. Jordan trying to make a pass to the inside, get a lap back. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go.
I definitely think that 41 crew is going to be eating a good steak dinner tonight. They earned it with those pit stops, got him out to a good lead, and he was able to hold on to it.
And
We got a good race here going for second.
held on to it well. Get a look back at the race for second, but we'll watch our leader, Josh Boyer, as he comes off of turn number 4. Takes it all the way down to the inside wall. He'll win race number 1. Race for third. Tedder holds on. And Viper finishes second. So Josh Boyer, your race 1 winner here tonight. Race 2 on deck. Let's talk with Josh. We'll also get a quick chat with Roger Nebelsack. He'll give us a good synopsis of the season that was here at TMP. Update you on where your championship drivers stand, heading into the final race of the year. But first, burn it down, Josh Boyer, race winner here tonight from Atlanta. Move on to our post-race coverage. Get results on your screens here in mere moments, folks. Again, can't thank you as always for tuning into JTN. Make sure you stick around. We still got another race coming at you tonight. Josh doing a Polish victory lap out there on track. We will take the opportunity, though, to get a look at the results for you and get those loaded. Like a good Polish victory lap, Weaver, or are you not a fan?
Big fan, big fan.
Big fan. Your driver does. Your driver doesn't even do burnouts most of the time.
Yeah, you know, got to protect that equipment, man.
I think though he did the last 2 wins, or 2 of the last. I don't know. He did one at Dega, and then he did one for the championship, right?
He did one for the championship. I can't remember Dega.
I think he did one for Dega. I was on the train listening to it, so
Maybe it might just be, you know, maybe the Talladega Engines one. They're gonna
throw it away. So who cares?
Yeah, there's the last race for it. Anyone, anyway, maybe.
All right, let's get you these race 1 results. Josh Boyer taking home the victory here in race number 1. Let's go ahead and head down into victory lane and talk with the driver of the number 41 who puts on a dominant performance here in the first race of the night, Josh Boyer. Josh, you got a copy?
Yeah, how you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? It's a long time no talk.
Yeah, no, buddy. How you been?
I'm doing good. You doing good?
Good. You recovered from your celebration back in January yet?
Let me tell you, it's been that long since we talked, huh?
I feel like it has been. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah. No, I'm recovering good. The hockey team's got going for a natty tomorrow night in the Frozen Four. So
Very nice. Well,
Yeah,
good luck to
hey.
the Wolverines.
hey, thank you. I appreciate that because you got your Heil Bobcat still, right?
Yes,
am
sir.
I-
Yes, sir.
Yes. You know there's a little beef there, but not with the Bobcats. You know that other
Yeah,
school
yeah.
we don't like down there,
Yeah,
right? Because you don't
yeah,
like them either.
No, that is absolutely correct.
Okay, all right, Josh. But let's talk about something that we also both like. It was the dominant performance you put on here in race number 1. How'd you execute so well on the pit stops?
Oh man, just some practice. In happy hour there, did a few hot stops there just to really practice getting the timing down. Heading into 3, they threw us a curve with having to enter into 3, which is a little different here.
Mhm.
And we, I just had to practice that and hold the speed through the corner best you could and not lose your car. So between that, some good entry on pit stops, and then also a little bit of strategy there with some fuel and tires at the end. But put ourselves in a good place to really kind of cruise to one tonight. It was kind of nice.
Well, and you guys played spoiler, right? Obviously, it's championship night. We're going to crown a champion here after race number 2. Top 4, all non-championship contenders here. A lot of guys part-time this year. You, of course, I believe you told them, no, someone else can take my spot in these championship races. Am I correct in that? And why did you elect to do that?
Yeah, the schedule just was really tough this year. Not able to get out and race much this year, and so no need to take up a spot for somebody who's been here the whole year and really has earned the right to race for a championship tonight. So, but doesn't mean we can't go for the flag at the end of the race, right?
Oh yeah, hey, Josh, I just wanted to commend you on it because that's something that it would be really hard for a lot of guys to do. Man, congratulations on the win here in race number 1. Before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. You got great partners on the car. And you've done this a time or two. You know what to do. Floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, first off, thanks to the guys tonight for having the race here. Looking forward to race number 2 coming up. And thanks for Dad's Root Beer, man. A childhood drink here, going to the old Oakshade Raceway there, and not near Wauseon, Ohio. We always had Dad's Root Beer at the racetrack, at the dirt track there. And so thanks for Dad's Root Beer for being with us this year, and looking forward to race number 2.
We're looking forward to it too, Josh. Good luck here in race number 2. As always, can't thank you enough for taking some time to talk with us. Hope we're talking with you again soon, bud.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Josh Boyer, driver, the number 41, your winner here tonight in race number 1. Let's go ahead and bring into the booth now Roger Nebelsack. Roger, I don't. What's your official title? Like, what are we, like, czar, or is it like ruler? Is it?
I'm just kind of the PR guy.
Ah, you're the PR guy.
Yeah, because I can craft 100% BS and have people love it.
Hey, some people need a good PR guy. Let me tell you. But
Absolutely.
listen, man. Obviously, we're coming to the conclusion here of the Winter Series. Wanted to give you some time here in our intermission, I guess we'll call it, for us hockey guys.
There you go.
But want to give you some time. First up, synopsis of the year. Obviously, a curveball here, middle of the year, elected to change some things based off of kind of participation and ability of guys to show up for racing on a Wednesday night. How the success of that seems to be, I would call it a success. You guys got a good field here again tonight, and seems like everyone's having a lot of fun. Would you agree with that? And then how do you feel now looking back at the year as we approach the start of our final race of this season?
100%. We were pretty down in the dumps early on in the season, about six weeks in, and I wasn't sure what to do. And I don't know if it was just word of mouth and decent racing that brought a lot more of these guys in, and just kind of curious to see what kind of racing we had and how many of them actually just kind of fell in love with the format. And I think we hit on something here. So to say that this season was successful is I guess a bit of an understatement, because this is a lot better than I actually thought it would wind up being. And then with with the quote 2 races a night on one race night, we still got about 28 races in for the year. So it's just a surprising win, I think.
Well, a big win, I think. It's been so much fun to cover the races we've gotten to come out for. And as we turn our attention, then obviously we got a championship race coming up. Format and stuff. How do you think everyone played along with that? I think it works pretty well with the way, obviously, last week we eliminated 1 in each race. That first race we eliminated 2. Kind of thoughts on the format, and should we expect any tweaks, or kind of a similar thing going into next year?
I'm sticking with this formula. The last tweak that we had was a little qualifying tweak, as it were, that Rod Weston came up with and suggested, where the top 5 or 6 guys, or not the top 5 or 6 guys, the guys that finished at the bottom, the last 5 or 6, they would actually qualify and have a lap, because that way somebody couldn't just luck into the number 1 pit stall, and that's made things a little bit more interesting. And this race here, I think will be very interesting with the 4 remaining championship contenders, because there was a lot of racing, a lot of different lines, and a lot of different strategies. We saw a couple of mistakes. I made a mistake, and unfortunately, it was with a championship contender. It didn't take him out of the fight, thankfully. But it was pretty interesting. Everything was pretty calm. This race, I think, because it is now the championship, I think with the 11 and the 33 and the 7, I think we're going to see, and Chris in the 19, I think we're going to see the temperature ratchet up just a little bit. I think not as much quarter is going to be given, I think, this time around. So it could be a little bit more a little messier this time around, but we might still have a good race. I don't know. It'll be interesting, because a lot of these guys are going to have to come from the back. I mean, 33. Tom is the highest starting Final Four guy. He's in the 4th row on the outside in 8th, so everybody else is behind him, so they got to come through the field.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch here in the second race. And for folks out there that want to get in on the action for next year, first, what are the plans for next year? If you can divulge anything, and then where can they go for updates and to stay up to date on how they're going to get to sign up to be able to be a part of what's one of the kind of the most fun broadcasts we get to do, and one of the cooler things we get to do throughout the year?
Well, I appreciate the compliment, Joe. Thank you very much. So first of all, just stay tuned in to the TMP Racing Series on Facebook, and we do have a website, so we don't have quite as much information on the website, but we do post information on Facebook regularly, and we do have some things lined up. I hate taking this momentum and just stopping it, but I think we need to regroup. But we do have something really exciting coming in the month of May. We are planning on running the double. So what we're going to do as one of our special races, for those who might have seen the Culver Block 200 back in October, November, when we ran the 200-mile race there to commemorate the 30th running of the Brickyard 400, we're going to do, and it was the 30th year of the first attempt at the double. So we're going to do that this year, and we're going to run 250 miles at Indianapolis, and then take about an hour break, and then we're going to go run 300 miles at Charlotte, or at least we're going to try. And it is going to be on Saturday, May 11th, and I don't have really any more information available at the moment. We just have the date and the mods and the car, or the tracks, and that's about it. We got to put some more promotional stuff together and spread the word. But first and foremost, you want to be the first one in on this. Just go right to the JTN. I'm sorry. You can go to JTN and then come to me via Facebook and like our page and be in the know, and even send us a message, say, hey, you want to keep email contact with us, and we'll be glad to put you on the email list and keep you posted of the things as they go along for this TMP/ASRA double. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We had a real good time at the Culver Block 200. Drew a great field. A little bit of sour grapes from couple hurt feelings at the end of that race, but that might make for a good 300-mile race.
Made for great footage for us.
Yeah, a little bit payback, right? A little bit payback. So yep, that's coming in May, and then we'll take a breather from there and enjoy the racing, the real racing from Indy and in Charlotte and Wilkesboro, and then I think we're going to start with a small Wednesday night series over the summer. I'm thinking we're going to use just the original Cup mod, but I've heard so many people say that, oh man, I really like the look of these cars, these 88 cars. We might just run it again. So we might do that over the summer, just to give us keep the whistle wet a little bit. Then we'll have a fall session. I think we're going to go with the Craftsman Truck Series from back in the early 2000s, and run some of the tracks there, and maybe run some of the Cup style tracks, and try and a little bit of variety, spice things up a little bit. And then I think in January, this is kind of where we're headed, is we're going to bring the TMP Winter Cup Series back for its second run. So yeah, that's kind of what we've got on the plate. And yeah, we're looking forward to continuing the JTN television sponsorship, partnership sponsorship. No, you're not sponsoring anything. Partnership, and look forward to bringing some more races to the sim racing community. Hopefully they're enjoying it. We seem to be pretty steady. We don't get the most views, but we're averaging 130, 140 views per race, and while that may not be much as a social media influencer for our little corner of the world, it's a W for us. So.
Well, Roger, it's been a pleasure this year going through these races, man. It's been a lot of fun for us up here in the booth. We're looking forward to Crown a Champion. We're looking forward to what the thing brings. We're looking forward to seeing that the double next month. And man, it's always a pleasure getting to talk with you here. And man, good luck here in race number 2. Gotta go win one more before the year ends.
Absolutely. Well, if I can't win it, but I'll see if I can come back into the booth. I'll see if I can get a top 3 out of this. That's my goal. But I want to make sure that, one, everybody has a good race, because that's the most important part. When everybody has a good time and has a good race, it makes me happy, no matter how shitty I do. And yeah, we'll see what happens, and yeah, we'll look forward to it. So I guess I better get down here so we can get this thing rolling. They're all waiting on me, right?
Yeah, sounds good, Roger, man.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Roger Nelisek. He's the driver of the 51. He's also head of PR here for TMP. Remember, you can head on over to the TMP Racing website or also their Facebook page. We got them both linked down in the video description below. All right. Waver, you ready for this thing?
I'm ready, Joe.
We apologize for Roger's curse word there, too. Although, unlike NASCAR, we're not going to take away, 50 points and $10,000. What was the Dale Jr. thing in 2004? You remember?
I don't remember that, no.
It was enough to make sure you didn't win the title. That's all I know. Folks, upcoming races here on JTN. Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action returns from the Daytona International Speedway tomorrow night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Autry Waits Memorial on Tuesday next week at 8:30 from Texas. And then 1 week from tomorrow night, we head to New Hampshire with our friends at BSR. Those races and much, much more, they're all going to be live right here only on JTN. Yeah. I'm ready for race 2. Weaver's ready for race 2. We hope you are as well. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much more, Weaver. We got our championship drivers, Tom Musa, Rich Knappich, Chris Aiken, Tom Goodman. So that's 7-11-1933. They're all going to be lining up, as Roger said, towards the back half of the field. It's going to be interesting to see how they can, and if they can, drive up to the front. Critical juncture in their championship fight. I'd almost want to start sandbagging in that second race tonight, Weaver, to maybe get myself a better position. I think about it, at least.
In the first race.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My brain's not working.
Yeah, I mean, definitely something you could have done, but it's one of those things where you got the cutoff. You got to be careful, too.
Gotta be careful.
Ready to crown a champion, Joe?
I am ready to crown champion. That was a lot of awkward silence, wasn't it? That was about a minute, I think. The silence is deafening.
I think we could do better.
What do you mean? Of silence? Alice said, yeah, you do. That was rough last night for you and that 43 team. Barbara says she's ready. Thanks for tuning in, Barbara. We need like JTN holiday cards. Don't know why that thought came to me. There's one of your championship contenders, Rich Napick. I guess because it's like season ending, and usually like seasons end in the fall and like November, and instead we're ending it's the second week of April. We're ending a season, but it's a winter season, so it's like, you know. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Weaver?
Oh, and it's a winter series?
No, just the season ending, and it's the winter.
Oh, you know, I mean, seasons, man.
Mm-hmm.
How do they work?
I mean, the Earth spins or something, and we're going around the sun. I don't.
So what, Joe, what you're telling me right now is that the Earth spins on it?
It does.
Interesting.
What do you think? And I hope we're not offending anyone out there, but you know, the eclipse was this week. It was really cool. You know, Weaver, I don't know. Do you have an opinion about the eclipse? I have a feeling you probably have a crazy opinion about the eclipse.
I don't know what that might mean, Joe, but I mean it's a cool event.
Okay,
Cool.
right.
It's a cool thing. What am I supposed to have?
No, I thought you'd be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why everyone's making a big deal about it.
No, I'm not stupid.
Okay, all right, cool. I didn't think you
Only
were.
when I choose to be.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was thinking, oh, maybe this is the time that Weaver's like, I'm gonna be a little silly goose up here in the booth.
Nah, I don't joke about my celestial events, Joe.
Okay, that's good. What do you think the flat earthers were thinking?
I don't think they were thinking at all.
Oh,
I think that's one where they just take the brain out and flush it down the toilet. You know, it's on the spin cycle while they're trying to talk the whole time. Is any flat earthers watching? Not sorry. You're stupid.
Talking to Kyrie.
Anybody. Anyone that can hear this message.
But you see, they always put the Earth on a map, and that map is flat, Weaver.
I mean, I like the theory they got where we're just on the back of a turtle floating through the sky or something.
It is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's what we were, though.
Well, I don't know, man.
We're crowning a champion tonight, folks. Got our best conversation pieces on tap for you. So remember, we'll have to take a lap or so to get the field lined up to go here from Atlanta. Reverse order of our first race. Let's load those results for you real quick. So Josh 2 and Brian Viesling are going to start up front. Irv Johnson, Daryl Johnston, then Dan Rubito, Dick Jordan, Rich Knappick, Tom Musa, Roger Nebelsack, Steve Rubino, Chris Aiken, Tom Goodman, Rod Weston, Jamie Tedder, Viper, and Josh Boyer. So again, reverse order of race 1 results is how we will line up here in race number 2. Hey, Weaver.
It's Joe.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Tuesday.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
It's funny to see the videos of like the social media people going up to like players, or I saw the ones because today was the first day of Indianapolis 500 testing. Going up to random IndyCar drivers doing that, and they just don't know what's going on. Those are fun. Those are fun videos. You ever just sit out there and think, I'm just watching airplanes take off and fly?
Quite a few times.
Trying to figure out which one you might be on, you know? And why you don't love me anymore.
Is that a song, Joe?
Yeah, it's by Lone Star.
I wouldn't know it.
And Kyle Larson was second quick at Indy 500 practice testing today, so... that's gonna be fun. Let me tell you, the 500 is gonna be fun this year. We'll see if it continues to hold up, if they can make the right adjustments to the car. That's what I'm intrigued to see, if he can give them the right feedback and they know how to take that feedback. All right, getting ready to go racing here. Field lined up behind the 67. 54 laps to go here from Atlanta. Green flag. Row 2 doesn't get a good jump. Top 2 out in front of the field by a little bit. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Weaver, I'm scared.
A lot of figuring out going on here on this early lap after that invert. Big Jordan getting in close to that 11.
Rich Knappick trying to get himself Tom Musa. With a big moment there. Rich Knappick, though, is clear of the rest of our championship 4 in this number 11 car.
Tom Moose, if you're going to be making a mistake like that, it's
Oh
good
no,
to
the
make it in
61's
the first couple
around.
laps. Oh, big wreck. That's going to collect Musa.
Collects Goodman as well. Aiken collected in it. 3 of our championship 4. Big wreck here off of turn number 2. Caution out for the first time here in race number 2.
That's the huge one, Joe.
The whole field just got took out. Couple of synchronized spins there. The 67 was also in the wall. Oh, Steve Rubino with a big hit there to the 19 as well as the 0. John Wall gets put in the wall.
Johnson took a couple hard hits.
The 67, he goes around from the lead by himself. So a big wreck here to open race number 2. Let's see what happened to our leader. Swinger in the 67. He goes around first before anyone behind him, so I don't know if maybe these guys were checking up and getting off the throttle. Maybe felt made those cars feel a little awkward, but you can see the storm kind of get collected up there 19 was minding his own business. He gets collected up in it. Let's go on board with Chris here. Top of his Dodge. So first caution of the night is out here. Field down to pace speed. Weaver, how you resetting?
Well, Joe, that you just got to go out here and be thankful you got a clean car after that wreck. Just go out there, see what you got, see what the rest of the field got for these first few laps. People are going to be pitting.
Oh boy, pit stops. So going back green here with Josh 2 out in front of the field. Two with control, coming back to lap 7 of 55. We stay under caution. Looks like Chris Aiken is around here on the apron in turn 3. Oh. Tom Goodman with some issues here. He's swerving, trying to heat up the tires, Weaver, and that's not a good look. What happens to Chris? Oh, he's gonna get clipped. Oof.
Pace car takes an interesting line here going on the... Coming out. Oh, he's coming out of the pits. That's what it was.
Yeah. Get a couple extra laps of caution here. All right, how do you reset again? Because now you reset for the just for the caution coming out, and now you have to reset again, because well, caution came out while you were under caution.
Well, I think you pause that reset that you had going from the first one.
You pause it. You say pause, sir. That's what you do?
Mm-hmm. Gotta pause. You gotta wait.
Gotta wait.
Put it on ice.
Put it on ice. So getting ready to go back green flag racing here. And Josh 2 with control here for the restart. Coming to lap 9 of 55. Back away we go, green flag. Hornet's Nest developing here behind the 67. Boyer looking to the inside of Tedder. And Rich Knappick up in 4th is leading the way of the championship 4. Oh, we got one around. That's Goodman. Contact with the 49. We stay green. Nope, we're under caution.
Been able to get it back going here on the front straightaway, but not the start to the race that 33 was looking for.
No, not at all. Get a replay of it here. He goes around by himself. Car just jumps out on him on exit of 4. There he goes. And it's a heavy lick here at the 49. Ugh. Both these guys, though, not a lot of damage. So they should be able to continue on. But for Josh, too, I mean, he's got to be feeling good. He's been leading this thing. You know? Caution laps aren't all that bad when you're the leader.
No, it's just more time that you get to lead, less time people get to try and pass you. Joe, we got anything for these people? You know, new summer wardrobe?
No. Oh, we've kind of been lacking on the merch game.
We got anything for these people need something to watch in the summer?
They can head on over to Track and Turf. They can watch episodes of the Fake Racers podcast every week. You know, we'll be live here on JTN every Thursday and most Tuesdays. You know, maybe some more stuff coming up over on Track and Turf. I don't know. We could make content. We could. You gonna film some content in Charlotte this year?
Oh, absolutely.
You promise?
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna get more Kirkland water bottle content though, right? Like.
No, I'm gonna do even more just like that, Joe, just to make you and Davey real happy.
For folks out there that don't know, a lot of the guys in our friend group had a meetup down in Jacksonville, right? Or am I mislocating the event?
I was Jacksonville.
Okay. For a karting event, and I had asked that if we could get some commercials or something filmed. And the one video I got was a commercial about...
No, you got two.
Oh, I got two. What was the other one?
The one, Davey did one.
Oh, Davey did one. Was it so blown out by the carts whipping around the kart track that they couldn't hear anything?
I don't know. Maybe, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know why you forget things, Joe. That's not on me.
That's true. That's true. It's true. Get ready to go back green. Josh 2 with control here. Green flag. We're back underway lap 14 of 55. Ooh, no, we got one on the apron. Weston's into the wall. Maybe see Rubino into the wall a little bit. Napik's still out in front of these championship drivers, but Goodman only 2 cars back, but those cars are side by side in front of him.
And Rubino taking a look on 2 here for the lead down on the inside. He's going to be able to clear him here off 2.
So Danny goes to the lead. Tedder goes through for second. Here comes Wall in the 0. He's looking for third. Josh 2 falling back in the 85.
And Rubino, our leader, got a good little gap there to Tedder in second. Rubino was probably the best of the rest in that first race. Couldn't quite hold on with those lead pack, but he was leading that second pack.
Pit stops were the differentiator in that first race. Here in race number 2 of the night, I kind of see that being the case once again, especially with these guys having to enter pit lane into turn 3.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on, especially with these slew of early yellows that we've had. Going to change up the strategy, I would suspect, for a few of these drivers.
Yes, people still playing this in 2024. Still racing in NR 2003. Rogelio? Hope I'm saying your name correctly. If I'm not, please correct me. Allison, yes, it's whoever finishes the highest. So right now it'd be Rich Napik in the 11. He's the highest. Aiken now right behind him.
Napik, the only one of our final 4 to not have troubles yet tonight.
And those final 4 were all involved in that first caution. And then Goodman was the second caution.
And Goodman, I believe, was involved in both, so he's got a lot of clawing and fighting to get back up to the front, have a chance at this. Still a lot of time, only 20 laps in this time by. The pack Jamie Tedder was able to get by Dan Rubino. Now paces the field. Who's that 910 sponsored by, Joe?
Appalachia State. They do anything notable?
Not recently. I think we said this before last race. Just, they got a good campus.
Yeah, they do got a good campus up there
We'll
in
stick with that.
Boone.
Beautiful place. Ever had a chance to go visit somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains? Do it. I'd like to talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Bino losing spots here in this 44, dropping like a rock now. He's on the outside, kind of getting freight trained here. We have our championship 4 all in a line going on by that 44. This too, the disadvantage, that 44 car hadn't pit tonight, so we talked about it, 5 laps doesn't seem like a lot, but it's enough once you get laps into a run, plural.
Yeah, the fall off comes quick and hard here at Atlanta, especially this older version of Atlanta. Aiken running 6, going to the high side, trying to find a way around Rich Napick. That's for the lead in the championship. 33 of Goodman just behind them. 4th driver, 7 of Musa. He's a little further back. Probably safe to say that Musa got it the worst out of everybody in that first incident.
I would say so.
It's the worst out of our championship contenders.
Josh 2 first down pit lane, not surprising because he had not pit yet in this one. He was foregoing that to be able to lead some laps.
Someone else kind of running back there behind Tom Musa in 12th, now 11th. Josh Boyer in that 41 hasn't been able to get back to the front yet. See if that changes when we hit our first round of green flag pit stops here. See Dan Rubino now. He's going to come down to pit road.
Tedder, Wall, Steve Rubino all going to come down pit lane as Josh 2's around. In the grass. Chris Aiken takes over the lead in the 19.
They want to ride Weston now down on the apron, coming down for his pit stop here.
Weaver, as we watch these cars and we kind of approach this first round of green flag stops, you know, this championship takes the headway as our championship for our 1, 2, 3, 4. What if you're these 4, you want to keep an eye on each other, you want to stay with each other, or are you taking a risk here to try to get a leg up on the competition?
I think now is probably the time where you can make that risk and have enough time to rebound if it doesn't really go your way. Still kind of risky, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you're pitting now, you're not really looking to pit again in this race.
You gotta remember, these 4, they're racing each other, too, in this one. They're not concerned about necessarily winning this thing. Championship is the bigger prize. Championship's always the prize you'd rather win, too. Everyone will talk about wanting checkered flags and trophies, but championship trophies are pretty nice, let me tell you. You hear the 19 shutting the engine off, too, on corner entry, so he's saving some fuel here. Over halfway. Now, these guys also aided by a couple of cautions early. And it's going to put them on the cusp of making it to one stop. And as Weaver said, an extra pit stop, that is not what you want to do here, because you know one of these four is going to be able to make it on one stop. You want to make sure it's you. Or at least you're one of the four.
Yeah, I think if you're one of the three that are behind the leader of the championship right now, Chris Aiken, I think you just got to do what that 19 does. Can't let him try and get a leg up on you.
Poking Denny Hamlin. Well, yeah, you know. Denny can say all he wants about wanting to win races. He still wants that championship trophy. Here comes Napick down pit lane. Aiken down pit lane. Musa and Goodman, all four going to come down. Nebelsek's the only one of this lead pack that stays out. See Goodman kind of struggling coming to pit road. The 19 maybe pulling a little bit of a gap here. The 33, he's sliding. He gets spun around by the 41. He's backwards, Weaver, and that's going to be a night ender for Goodman in this 33. He's losing a ton of time here on the entry to pit lane.
Yeah, that's really what you could not have happen here on the most critical stop of the race.
Of the season.
Your career.
Ugh. Your life. Did I one-up you enough? Aiken
Yeah.
down and away. Musa down and away. Napick down and away.
Musa gonna come out ahead of Napick, but Aiken's still gonna have a good lead over both of them.
And there goes Tedder in the 910.
Boyer was able to pick up a couple spots on that pit stop as well. Ooh, Napick almost had a little trouble there coming off pit road. Looked like maybe a bump from Viper getting up off the banking, or up onto the banking.
So that cycles, I believe, Rod Weston to the lead. Am I correct, Weaver?
Think it should once everything cycles through here. Rod Weston was the first to pit around lap 25. Going to be tough for him to make it to the end. Got about a 4-second gap to play with back to the 910 of Tedder.
So Aiken by himself. See Boyer going by Tom Musa there in the 7. Napick trying to take over second in the championship. Still Rod Weston out in front. Jamie Tedder trying to close the 4-second gap. Steve Rubino here in third. Then it's Chris Aiken fourth in the 19. He's closing in on this top 3 battle. Right now, if you're Aiken in this 19, Weaver, I don't even know if you want to push it all that hard. You want to make sure you can make it to the end of this race on fuel.
Yeah, I definitely don't think there's any reason for that 19 to push right now. Like you said, he's got a good gap back to the next championship contender, so just make sure you're going to make it.
Let's try to go around the 67 here, too. How crucial is it for this 19 to stay in the draft?
It is, but I don't think we've really seen where that draft has made a huge difference tonight. It can definitely help, but you can make do just with the tire wear here by running by yourself or just with a little bit of help.
Aiken gonna go by Steve Rubino like he's standing still down into turns 1 and 2. The one car moves over. Rubino falls back into 4th. Josh Boyer on the charge here in the 41 as well. Making up some time on the rest of the top 3. They've held the gap pretty steady to Rod West, and Aiken now going by Tedder in the 910. This 19 car is fast right now, Weaver.
Very fast, putting even more cars and time between him and Musa there, running second in this championship battle. Hearing just a little bit of clutching though from that 19, trying to save just a little bit of fuel here.
Think he's a little bit close? That's causing him to lose some time to the rest of these guys too, Weaver. They're all catching back up to him. You're seeing this last cycle of pit stops begin as well. We expect our leader, Rod Weston, to have to make a pit stop. He was one of the earlier pits. Yes, the 19 does want both trophies. He's blocking a little bit here on Boyer down the back straightaway. Again, watching the battle for second as... Oh, no. You can blinking out there as we've reached our 10 to go, our Death Craver 10 to go. You can check out Death Craver. It's now available on Amazon. That's Craver with a K. Chronicles the story of Enzo as he's invited on a super top secret underground racing event. Little does he know he has to go against Death Craver and his deranged squad with assault race cars and weapons and all kinds of crazy things. It's Death Craver. You gotta go read it. Now available on Amazon or ZachRogersBooks.com. Go read it. Aiken takes over the lead as Weston comes down pit lane with 9 to go. 9 to go in the race, 9 to go in the season, 9 to go for the championship, and Tom Musa is closing in. He's third there in that 7 car. Might have a thing or two to say before the night is over. Boyer up the track a little bit in the 41. He'll try to get a good run here down the front stretch. Now 8 to go.
Aiken just gotta hold on, just gotta hope the fuel can hold on. That 7 of Moose is getting a little bit closer though.
If you're the spotter of the 19, you telling him where that 7 car is, or are you just gonna let him figure that out?
I'm sure he's looking in the mirror and seeing it himself here.
He's probably well aware.
Yeah, lucky for him, he does still have that buffer car with Boyer in between him. They're running in second.
Well, and Boyer kind of in this weird... You remember Kyle Larson at Homestead, and I don't know, it was like 2016 maybe, 2015? It was probably 2016. Where he was in the exact spot that Boyer is. He's running second. in between two championship cars. His Boyer's way up the track there off of turn number 2. That's going to allow Musa to have a big run. But it felt like he didn't know what to do, and eventually he moved over and let the top 2 race, even though he was definitely the faster car.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, and in that situation, you're kind of building yourself some good faith moving forward. Here in sim racing, not usually you already got that with your competitors, not too much animosity between these drivers. So
now they don't hate on each other like the real guys, right?
yeah, they're always fighting and stuff in the real world. That's why they get their own motorhome lot, so they can just fight in peace.
Yeah.
Three laps to go for Chris Aiken to win a title. He put a little bit more time between him and Tom Musa that time by.
Musa watching the championship drive off into the sunset as Aiken continues to extend his lead. Lap traffic up in front. Schnappick has fallen out of the picture, back and forth. Coming to 2 laps to go here from Atlanta. 2 more circuits here in the 2024 Winter Series for the TMP Racing League. It's Chris Aiken out in front. A healthy margin, just hoping that he's got enough fuel in the tank to make it to the end, Weaver.
He's still saving some fuel. Gotta imagine 41 and 7 as well are saving fuel. They pit at the same time. They're still losing time to this 19. He's just got 1 more lap.
1 lap to go. Chris Aiken in the lead in the race, in the lead for the championship. Tom Musa making one last-ditch effort to try to get around Josh Boyer for second.
Nothing for him there. Looks like he had to let off to save a little bit of fuel. Make sure you can get it back to the line.
It's been a dominant performance here in race number 2, or at least the second half of it, for the driver of the number 19. Won multiple races this year to put himself in this spot. He'll win the last one as well. Chris Aiken is your Winter Series champion here in TMP.
Josh Boyer brings it home in second. Tom Musa finishes in third. Great run there by Aiken to win the race and the championship. Wasn't making the most noise the past couple weeks, but he kept that car in a position to win.
A lot of times in playoff formats, Weaver, it's about survive and advance in this 19 team, especially in that first race. Gotta remember, he was in the wall at one point, Weaver, in that first race. He had to persevere and come back from it just to make sure he wasn't in an elimination spot, keeps himself out of it, wins the race here tonight, and he'll burn it down as a race winner, but more importantly, our champion.
Yeah, Joan, you mentioned the struggles that he faced just in the first race alone, but I promise you nobody in this field was counting out that 19.
Folks, we remind you, we'll be talking with our top 3 finishers here tonight. Chris Aiken, Josh Boyer, and Tom Musa. Also, make sure if you haven't already to drop a like on the video. It does a lot to help support us here on JTN. You can follow us on our social media at JoTo Network. We're on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Also, make sure you go give TMP a follow on Facebook. You can go like their Facebook page. You can also find their website. They have everything linked. Chris Aiken, he's your champion. He takes it in with the Polish victory lap. We'll get those final race results on your screens here in a few moments. We can't thank you enough, as always, for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, again, drop a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll remind you numerous times, click that like button and make sure you're subscribed. So just, do it now. Make it easy. Make it easy. Let's go ahead and start by talking with our second place finisher. He's the driver of the number 41. He was your race 1 winner. He's your second place finisher in race number 2. Josh Boyer. Josh, you got a copy.
Yeah, 10-4.
All right, second place here in race 2. I don't, what's kind of the feeling after, obviously starting out back here in the second race was definitely a tall task.
Yeah, we really had to focus on strategy in this race and save fuel. Did I guess 2 stops total. We kind of debated early on. Roger and I were chatting through our team channel about how we're going to handle pit stops, and those early cautions kind of forced our hand into just a stop there with 40 and then 20 to go. So we had to just kind of monitor fuel, and with that, couldn't really push ourselves too much. Coming out then, when we all of us pitted there with 20 or 21 to go, I got kind of held up by the guys in front of me. I think 33 had a little issue coming to pit road 2, and that kind of hurt my exit, and Chris just had a 4 or 5 second lead coming out of the pits there. So that's where I gained it in the first race, right? So couldn't take advantage of the entry and exit the pit road there. So happy with second place. We gave it our best effort trying to chase down the 19. Just ran out of tire at the end. Had enough fuel, just ran out of tire.
Well, results now on your screens at home, folks. Josh, obviously, you talk about it there, live by the sword, die by the sword. When you look back at tonight, though, it's obviously a very successful night, first and second place finish. But what was the most fun part about this race tonight? We talked about it in that first interview. Not part of the championship battle, but obviously made your presence felt here this evening.
Yeah, it's good to race the old Atlanta. I've always loved this track. I liked it. It can be flat out in these cars, but then you kind of burn that right front tire off. So you got to be careful with it. So a lot of kind of throttle control midway through the runs, and there was opportunities to pass. If you wanted to drive it hard in it, you could get underneath the guy and then just kind of hold it down and pass off the corner. So good old school racing with these cars. A lot of fun with these Aero 88 cars, and a lot of clean racing really tonight. So a lot of give and take when we needed it. So thanks to the guys for a great race tonight.
Oh, we loved watching it up here in the booth too, Josh. Congratulations on the second place run here in race number 2. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you one last opportunity here this season. Floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yeah, first off, congrats to 19, Chris, for a championship race tonight. Wish I could have beat you in the second race there, but congratulations on the win. And thanks to all these guys for putting this together, and Roger and all the guys, TMP. And I didn't get to race a lot this season, but I had fun when I did. So thanks, guys.
Josh, again, as always, pleasure getting the opportunity to talk with you. Glad we got to catch up tonight. Congratulations on a great result here in race 2 and the win in race 1. And hope we're talking with you again soon, man. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, take care, Joe. Thanks, guys.
Josh Boyer, driver number 41, your second place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next head on down into victory lane and talk with not only your race winner here in race number 2, but your champion, driver of the 19, Chris Aiken. Chris, you got a copy?
I sure do. How's it going?
It's going good, but I think it's going better for you, buddy. How's that feel to be champion?
Oh, it's great. Very skeptical coming into tonight that we would make the first cut, much less be in contention. I'm not the greatest on these bigger intermediate tracks. I do enjoy them, but just don't always run as good as everybody else that was in the running for it. So definitely good job, and proud to be here.
Well, that was the first thing I really wanted to ask you, because I know we talked last week, and it took me by surprise because I don't want to say you're down on this being an intermediate track tonight, but it definitely felt like I could feel that little bit of the confidence didn't feel like it was there. Is that confidence now built up for the next time? Because in race 1, you're able to rally from almost a very unfortunate event there with the 51 that could have took you out of contention, that was out of your control. You rally back and you make sure you're above the cut line there. And then here in race 2, you do an excellent job executing pit stops, driving through the field, you name it, you did it here in race number 2. Does that help build your confidence for the more of these intermediate races moving forward?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because at one point we were dead last in the second race a couple of times towards the beginning there, and just through some unfortunate circumstances. And as the race went on, started picking our way through the field and using the pit strategy to our advantage, and So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a confidence builder for sure.
Well, and Chris, I mean, we said it, champion. I mean, what it's a culmination of a year, obviously a very successful season for you in this 19 team. It's a very high pressure format, especially with everything coming down to one race. When you look back on the year, what's your biggest takeaway? And what maybe, for the folks out there that say, oh, he's a champion, so obviously he's the best, he has nothing that he can do better. What do you think that one thing you can do better going into next year, or moving forward, whatever that looks like for you in this 19 bunch? What's that one thing that you want to continue to improve on heading into the next season?
Well, it seemed like for most of the season, with the doubleheader races, we would usually run pretty well in the first one, and then with the invert, we get stuck in the back starting in the second one, and just could never, for the most part, usually could never quite make our way back up to the front, and that's what I was worried about tonight. And so actually, I guess getting caught up in that incident in the first one maybe might actually help us out a little bit. So we didn't start all the way at the back. We didn't start all the way at the front. We just kind of started right in the middle. So that wasn't so bad. But yeah, I definitely think if we can figure out how to work through the field in the second races of the double headers, that would definitely be a big help.
Well, Chris, again, man, congratulations on the win and the championship. Before we let you go for the final time this season, I want to give you the opportunity. You got beautiful sponsors, great folks cheering you on. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Okay, first and foremost, I want to thank TMP, Tom and Roger, for hosting this league and inviting us and having us over here all the time. It's a great league. If you're looking for something to get into, I definitely recommend checking them out. Secondly, thank you guys for the amazing broadcast that you do. It's always top notch, and we always look forward to the broadcast that you guys do, whether we're part of it or not. It's some awesome work. And then lastly, just my team, of course, it's our 20th anniversary. So to win a championship in our first try in this series, along with getting our 400th win earlier in the season, just really says a lot. And we've only been online racing as a team since 2015, since 400 wins in 9 years.
Well, Chris, it's been successful, man. Congratulations on the big win here tonight in the championship. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and talk to you here this season. Congratulations on it. Can't thank you enough, as always, for your time, and we look forward to see what you can do out on the track next season.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for putting a great show, as always.
Chris Aiken, driver of the number 19, your race winner and your champion here tonight from Atlanta. We go ahead and move down to our third place finisher and our second place in the championship, driver of the number 7, excuse me. Confusing me. Tom Musa. Tom, man, third place here in this last race. I know that's bittersweet. That is probably the best way to describe it.
So close. It was a gas thing, which is actually cool because I was not hoping for it, but it always puts a twist in the race.
How obviously you got a couple hats that you wear here, but if we keep the race car driver hat on for now, how do you sum up this Atlanta race for you behind the wheel? Because it was a little hectic there at the start, right? And then things calmed down a little bit once everyone realized the fuel save was going to be a deal.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we had an early yellow, and that's usually what happens in our second races. And then after that, it's pretty green all the way through, which is great because then you get the green pit stops, and we all somehow got together before that last pit stop in the top four, with 4 running for it, which is, you can't ask for anything better than that.
Then you put your let's put your admin and owner and all that fun hat on, and what did you think about this last race? Obviously, a lot of short tracks on the schedules. Then you come to the big track here to end the year. How do you think this race kind of exemplified all the honestly all the really great things we saw throughout the season.
I thought what we did this year after the bad start, we ended up fantastic. I mean, we had 17 drivers tonight,
Mhm.
and that's unheard of for our league. I mean, we usually like 10, 11, and we got SMO guys coming in, and everybody's clean drivers. Everybody's running good. And I thought this track would be great just because you could run open and you had to have some luck on your hands, on your side.
And I mean, there at the end, what more do you think you needed to have a chance at that win and championship?
Another half gallon. I mean, I was catching him, and I knew he was saving, and Rich was behind me, and we all had the same amount of gas, and he just was able to save it enough. I mean, I had enough to make it to the end, but I had to start lifting with 10 laps to go, just because it was on a splash, and then good. But yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm glad everybody ran real well around the 4 guys that were running. There was no blocking or getting in their way. So awesome group of guys right now.
Well, it was awesome for us to watch, Tom. Congratulations on the 3rd place here and 2nd place in the championship. Before we let you go, though, I want to give the opportunity. Got great folks to shout out, great folks to thank, great things to plug as well. Floor is yours to do so. You know what to do.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and joining this league this year. We came up with actually seems to be working, and we're going to do it more starting in September. And also we have that May 11th, the double. If anybody's interested in doing that, get a hold of Roger, get our Facebook page, and let us know. We're trying to get that all set up to go.
Well, Tom, again, it's always a pleasure to get the opportunity to, 1, come out here and broadcast these races with you guys, and 2, get a chance to talk with you after the race. Congratulations on a great season as admin and owner and runner and doer of all, and congratulations on a great season as a driver. Again, man, can't thank you enough for your time after this one, and we hope to be talking with you again soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You guys do a great job, and hopefully we'll be back with us next year.
Heck yeah, we're looking forward to it. Tom Musa, driver the number 7, your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Weaver, that's going to wrap up our coverage from Atlanta. Season is in the books for our friends here at TMP. And boy, howdy, did we see a great pair of races here tonight from the Peach State.
Absolutely, Joe. Some great racing. Always fun to come out here and be able to crown a champion, and always good to put on display some good championship racing for one of our many partner leagues.
Remember, folks, if you want to get in on the action, you head to TMP Racing's Facebook page and also their website. They're interlinked with each other, so you can get one with the other. Remember, if you haven't already, to click the like button on the video and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. We're live again tomorrow night with our friends at BSR, so tune in for that one at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time start from the Daytona International Speedway. With all of that being said, though, folks, for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for my colleague Joseph Weaver, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks.
3 wide for second, but Sean Whitehill is going to bring it home and win the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ricky J closing up off turn 4. He's going to have a run to the inside. He blocks into the grass. Checkers out. Hardy wins it.
Ricky, what's going on in your brain right now?
Yeah, putting on 4 big rubber shoes and 2 gallons of, not 2 gallons, 2 cans of exploding dino juice here, Joe.
Down to the tunnel turn. These guys are throwing it through there and around to the back of the wall, as well as RJ Bishop. Down in front of Keith Hughes. Oh, no! Big hit. RJ Bishop. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Ricky J, big crash into the wall.
Oh,
the leaders have wrecked. Ricky J is upside down. Magoo is hard on the wall. Tyler Mallon escapes with no damage. Everybody else in this main group, including Nelly, is jumped.
through the north chute they'll go. The 24's into the wall, almost contact there. The 10 with the shallow entry into turn 4. It's going to be a drag race down the front straightaway. Folks, the 24's in the wall. They make contact, turn around. Napick goes on through the flip. Rich Napick's going to win the Culver